Hey everybody, Carson with Top & Go Productions here, and today we will be taking a look at Justin's Darien King of Kjeldor deck and its army of soldier tokens and life-gaining clerics. Darien is a unique general that allows you to generate 1/1 white soldier tokens equal to the amount of damage you take. This makes Darien unique in that you want to take greater amounts of damage, but at the same time you don't want to give up the game. To address this concern, this mono-white deck balances damage taking and life gaining in order to create a devastating and powerful army. We'll begin with the life gain cards. Soul Warden, Soul's Attendant, Auriok Champion, and Healer of the Pride are creatures you want to cast early in the game as they neutralize any damage you take by creating tokens through Darien and allowing you to return to your life before the damage. Play them as early as possible to maximize your life gain. Sucha Priest works to reward you with life when creatures enter the battlefield on your side and punishes your opponents when they enter on their side. This card works quickly to broaden the gap between you and your opponents. Angelic Chorus is a nice enchantment that allows you to gain life equal to a creature's toughness when they enter your side of the field. Congregate. You're making lots of creatures and your opponents probably are too. Why not gain even more life? Although this deck focuses on using Darien, this does not mean that the king can't use some help gathering his forces. Captain of the Watch not only generates 3 soldier tokens, but also pumps them up and upgrades all soldiers with Vigilance. Hero of Bladehold creates 2 attacking tokens when you attack while triggering its battle cry, allowing you to hit a bit harder. Knight Captain of Eos creates tokens when it enters and gives you the option of preventing damage by sacrificing only 1 soldier token. Degree of Justice and White Sun Zenith are both spells that allow you to generate some extra tokens from extra mana. Although Degree of Justice is a bit more expensive, it generates 4/4 flyers. Elspeth Knight Errant and Elspeth Tyrell are the planeswalkers for this deck. Knight Errant allows you to give additional bonuses to your creatures, while Tyrell gives you the option of gaining some additional life, allowing more damage to Darien. Not to mention that those ultimates are game winners. Sometimes quantity is not enough and your army might need some quality to finish the game. These cards are here to make your army of 1/1 soldiers into an army of 2/2s, 3/3s, and so on. Crescendo of War and Cathar's Crusade are both enchantments that pump your creatures. Crescendo of War pumps during each upkeep, while Cathar's Crusade pumps whenever another creature enters the battlefield. Angel of Jubilation and Eldrazi Monument are both granters of +1/+1 bonuses. A Johnny Goldmane's second ability allows each creature you have to not only receive a +1/+1, but Vigilance as well. Mirror Entity and Coat of Arms are both cards that rely on creature types. Mirror Entity allows you to input mana to make your 1/1s into something scarier while making them all creature types, which will make Coat of Arms even more impressive. Glory might not be a pumper, but it provides protection to your creatures, which can help you either block or finish the game with your army of pumped 1/1s. Removal is an essential part of any EDH deck, and here's this deck's arsenal. Path to Exile, Condemn, and Swords to Plowshares are the 1-mana instant speed white removal spells we all love to use. Salt Blast is a little more on the expensive side regarding removal, but it has a wider circle of cards to target. Prison Term is an enchantment that gives you the flexibility of switching to newer and scarier targets. Devout Witness, Aura of Silence, and Return to Dust are a bit more specific in their targets, such as artifacts and enchantments. Catapult Squad and Catapult Master take advantage of your extra soldier tokens in order to deal damage, or just exile the creature altogether. Helm of Possession is an artifact that allows you to take over one of your opponent's creatures for the low price of 1 sacrifice, which should be no big deal given your army of tokens. The great thing about this card is that you can keep using it to take greater creatures if something better comes along. Martyr's Bond is an eye for an eye card that can make your opponents think twice about targeting your permanents. Hallowed Burial, Oblivion Stone, and Akroma's Vengeance clear the field. These are cards to be used when things are looking really bad, because you don't want to lose your hard-earned 1/1s otherwise. Hour of Reckoning and Martial Coup are Wrath cards that deal with tokens. Hour of Reckoning allows you to cast it not only for cheaper, but also saves your soldier tokens. Martial Coup Wraths, but can allow you to generate some new 1/1s to continue the assault. Austere Command is a very flexible card in allowing you to Wrath exactly what you need to deal with, and maybe save your tokens. Relic of Progenitus, Stonecloaker, and Tormod's Crypt are your grave hate removal cards, because sometimes dealing with threats on the battlefield just isn't enough. White isn't exactly the color known for card advantage, but there's still a few things that we can play to help us out in that area. Skullclamp has the potential to draw many cards when you have an army of 1/1s at your disposal. Mind's Eye allows you to draw when your opponents draw. Sensei's Divining Top and Scroll Rack are both cards that allow you to fix the top of your deck. Ranger of Eos is here specifically to search for Soul Warden and Soul's Attendant. Weathered Wayfarer, Land Tax, and Journeyer's Kite are land searches that can also find cards to discard for Devout Witness once your mana is set. Eternal Dragon is also a plane searcher, but you can later return it to your hand for a big beater. Many cards in this deck require you to input as much mana as you can in order to generate a greater number of tokens. Ramping is essential to this deck. Soul Ring, Mana Vault, and Mana Crypt are mana rocks that might have a small penalty for ramping that becomes a reward with Darien on the field. Solemn Simulacrum is a jack of all trades as he ramps, draws cards, and is still a creature. Extraplanar Lens allows you to imprint planes in order to generate another white mana. Gauntlet of Power and Caged Sun not only double your mana, but they also pump your white creatures. Every deck has their lands, but some lands actually reward you with Darien on the field. Ancient Tomb, Grand Colosseum, City of Brass, Nomad Stadium, and Tarnished Citadel are land cards that award you tokens when Darien is on the battlefield. Tarnished Citadel can even award you with 3 tokens. The deck's other lands are Amiria the Sky Ruin, Mikokoro Center of the Sea, Mistveil Plains, Thawing Glaciers, Temple of the False God, Kjeldor and Outpost, Strip Mine, Wasteland, and 26 Plains. And now for the strengths and weaknesses of the deck. For its strengths, the deck has great synergy with its commander. The deck puts pressure on your opponents early in the game. The deck can handle itself well even without its commander. The deck balances life gain and self-inflicted damage well. Its weaknesses. This deck relies on pump effects to deal heavy damage, which makes artifact and enchantment removal serious threats. This deck can suffer greatly from mass removal. This deck does not interact well with control decks or combo decks. This deck relies a lot on its life gaining to be successful. You should play this deck if you like white weenie type decks, you enjoy turning penalties into benefits, you want to overflow your battlefield with soldier tokens, you want to try a monocolored deck with a clear strategy. If you're a token fan, a life gain fan, or just a fan of mono white, Darien is a great commander to try. For next time, vote on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter for either Prime Speaker Zagana, Cedrus the Traitor King, or Hirobi Death's Whale. I'm Karsten with Top Go Productions, and as always, thanks for watching.